Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. And this is an evening shoot. It's early evening here in Yorkshire. It's been an absolute glorious day again. Very windy though, I have to say. But well, the sky is generally still a little bit blue, I think, in places. We have a few clouds, but it's generally very, very warm still, which is fine. But it does mean I've just started to water more. I've been moving a bit of soil around, and actually the stuff even deep down is a little bit dry. So it's time to keep an eye on the watering. Well, it's an exciting programme today, I hope. A few results happening here on the allotment, as I know there are around the country and around the world. Yes, around the world, isn't that exciting? Well, I hope you will. Sit back, relax, put your feet up, have a cuppa. Don't drink this sort of thing, but more about this in a moment. I've been waiting for this for so long. I've actually got some vegging, and fingers crossed, hopefully it's not going to be decimated. Now what I've done here is a raised bed. It's got protection from underneath. I've now got two types of protection around because the birds are around. I've a little robin here earlier because I've been digging over. Just lovely to see. Very cheeky robins, aren't they? Amazing. Beautiful though. Lovely red breasts, but very cheeky. And was here for some of the scraps that are around, obviously, and well, I need to protect these plants. What I've got in here is I've got some carrots. Now they're a bit long in the greenery at the moment because they've been stored in greenhouse and the roots were a bit bound, so fingers crossed these will take in here. And I've got some sprouts as well. Yes, carrots and sprouts, who'd have known? Well, I've done that anyway, and there's space. Obviously, once the sprouts start to grow, they need to be staked. They're not staked at the moment. I'm going to allow them to establish and then we can stake them. What I have got in here, I've got two bottles with my homemade, well, one of them is my homemade anti-slug deterrent, which of course, yet again, which is what's in here. My poor wife keeps looking for the jugs. Don't tell her, they're on the allotment. I think I've got both of them at the moment. This is really very, very simple again. I repeat it. It's just yeast. I've got dried yeast, one packet, 7 grams of dried yeast, a tablespoon of, well, I'm using brown or caster sugar actually. It dissolves faster, I find, and some flour just to bind it together, and then gives it mixed up, and it's gone into one of these. In the other one, and I don't know how this has happened here in Yorkshire, I've got some leftover beer. Yes, old beer. It still smells of the yeast, so that's in this side. So the competition time is, can these protect these plants in here? There's been a slug deterrent in here for about a week now, collecting the slugs, and by gum they were. I've just poured them out here behind me, at least 20 to 30 out of one. And again, there's small ones, so we're getting rid of those. What I've had to do is, of course, because there's carrots in here, we have to put a carrot fly barrier up, and I've got one here in this netting. It's high enough. It just needs to cover the bottom half of here. It's well over 24 inches, so it's really, really okay to protect. And then on top, I've got some green netting to stay the birds flying down and taking some of the leaves off here, which is what they can do. So this is well protected now. So I'm very excited. I've actually got things in, and it's fantastic. Speaking of having things in, Darren in Wakefield, well, he started to have crops from some of the plants he's got outside. And I know, well, we've got peas you're picking, your broad beans you're picking, you've got onions and potatoes. Now, should we have a look at a couple of photographs? And what I've done is, because Darren, bless you, made a video, lovely, thank you very much. I've actually taken a screenshot of some of his vegetables. So first of all, we've got the peas, as you can see there, looking really, really good. Then we've got broad beans, amazing. Look at the size of those, how delicious I bet they're going to be. And then we've got some onions, and we've got your potatoes. And then, well, you say in all of those shots, as you've seen, you win some on the allotment, but you also lose some. And well, your carrots. Let's have a look at your carrots. And it happens to a lot of carrots. I've had carrots over the years in beds that are as fine as anything. There's no pressure on anything, but suddenly the carrot decides to go, well, hey, and design their own patterns. But at least you have carrots. I'm sure clean those up. Even if you get the edges off, you'll still be able to use carrots. Fantastic. Well done, Darren, for your produce so far. And absolutely brilliant. I know you're having a really good season within the greenhouse. But like most of us, you're being plagued by the S word, and I'm not going to mention it anymore. Right, the success here on the allotment is, and I'm going to take photographs, I have strawberries and they're finally turning red. I've covered them with a netting, a little bit like this, but a little bit newer to keep the birds off them now, because obviously they're going to see the red swoop down. I've also got slug protection in there too, and snail protection. And the problem I have over there, and I've had it before, are woodlice, believe it or not, and they come along and they chew a bit of the old fruit. So I'm keeping a well eye on those, and I'll keep going round and get as many weeds out of that bed as possible so that they can't hide anywhere. And I will be doing is putting a fresh bale of straw on those to obviously in the heat keep the moisture in the ground. So marvellous things are actually happening here on Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. Isn't that exciting? Well, here's one of the areas that's also coming nicely along, and it's my garlic. They're not going to be the biggest garlic, but they are growing, which is marvellous. I need to give them water. I won't do it now. I'm going to do it in the morning, and so it's got all day to protect itself, obviously from the heat of the sunshine. It's growing really well. Some are bigger than others. What I have to be careful of, this yellow daisy, which is spreading like wildfire, and it does apparently. I've never had it as much as I've got this year. I'm going to go around and cut it all off. I've had to do it here, and I'm in the beds now, and we just have to keep these watered now, and hopefully this garlic will grow. It's coming along nicely. You have to be very careful about garlic though, because you can get disease on garlic, and you have to be really, it's a bit like a mould. I keep coming and looking at these because some are growing a bit brown, but I don't think it's mould. I just literally think that maybe they're getting towards the end of their growing life, but I will keep a very, very close eye on them, because if you do get it, you have to snip them off, because as many of the leaves that are infected off as you can, because that will affect your bulbs and the growth of them, and it might even affect them, and then they'll die away. So I'm keeping a really, really close eye on my garlic, but it's growing. But before I go today, I have to show you these lovely, lovely roses that have started to come. These are the pink ones, and I have a yellow one I've just seen that's turning up. This one getting a bit heavy for its stake, so I need to work that out and strengthen that. Maybe I put a piece of string from there just to hold it upright, but they're doing really well again, and I can see from here there's lots coming, so it's going to be full of colour very shortly. The thing about these is they are very, very delicate, so if we had some rain now, this would completely disappear, because as I say, they're really delicate, but aren't they a beautiful shade of pink? Well, on that note, I'll leave you with a photograph of my one and only strawberry that's changing colour. Once again, thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. Thanks for your comments. We'll get to those on the next show, because the next show's a little bit longer, so we can cover some of your comments that's been coming in. And thank you and hello to all the new subscribers. It's really good to have you on board. Please keep joining the family. It's good to have you. And well, once again, thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. I'll see you on the next show. Ta-ra for now.